24 on EA Sports. And we'll get a look here at wideout A.J. Brown. It was a nice line for him a week ago, reaching the century mark and scoring a touchdown. It's the Eagles and the Vikings on Thursday night.
Just north of the Delaware Expressway and east of Broad Street, we find ourselves at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly. Tonight, we're on to week 2 of the NFL season. We got a good one on tap, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great
Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts, as this one is underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So here the Vikings set to go to work, and they're led by the leading passer in the NFC a season ago. Now in his 12th year, 6th as a Viking, Kirk Cousins.
We talk so much about how coaches script things, especially on offense, to start a season, to start a game, whatever it is. Could they have scripted a better start in terms of playing? Offensive Player of the Week in the NFC, and his team won their season opener.
Absolutely perfect start to the year, but all the talk was, hey, that was week 1. Now we got to move forward.
Let's do it again in week 2. That's what he's told his teammates.
Play action now. Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4. To the air again, it's Cousins. We're going back to the same well. It's Hockenson again. The numbers for him from a week ago. 5 catches, 79 yards, and a touchdown.
And I don't know about you, partner, but if anybody ranks me in the top 10 in anything, I'm really happy, and that's exactly where he is now, number 10 in the league in receiving yards.
The 2nd down and 10th there, knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, that leads us to a 3rd and 3. To throw, Cousins. That is caught. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 43. A gain of 18 and a new set of downs. Now the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Now left side on the swing pass. And he is going to lose yardage here. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. They'll throw again. Cousins. Pass complete to Addison. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 27-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's 2nd down. Now Cousins. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. That sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
You get a sense of what this game plan might be. They think they can take a few home run shots against this defense. They tried it there in the opening drive, but that ball's incomplete.
And this one is right through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. I think we can safely say they came out to be aggressive on the opening series, Charles. They didn't run the ball once. All that passing, it does get them the 3-0 lead.
I think what we saw there, partner, was a true definition of football balance, which means doing what you want to when you want to on offense. And in this case, it was throwing the football. They may mix in running the football a little bit more as this game goes on. But this opening drive, while it stalled out, it still gave them 3 points.
So here come the Eagles, the defending NFC champs, led out by a man who was the runner-up to Patrick Mahomes at MVP balloting a season ago. Of course, that's Jalen Hurts.
And we already knew that Hurts was a good quarterback. But last year, he moved to elite status. Under his guidance, the Eagles returned to the Super Bowl and nearly won it. And he's also one of the league's most dangerous players. Thrown for 38 touchdowns his last 2 seasons and run for another 23.
And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a man picked up on draft night this year, DeAndre Swift. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 10 carries, 59 yards.
Well, obviously he didn't have a great deal of time between games, having to turn around on a short week and get ready for Thursday night football. But he said in pregame he was feeling pretty good and felt more recovered from last week's contest than he would have expected. Didn't seem to think this short week was going to affect him much as he chases a big performance here in prime time.
Here's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. The Eagles at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they were able to get that road victory in the opener. And now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Throwing is Hurts. His throw incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
So here are the Vikings to take over. They were winners a week ago over the Bucs. They lead here as well as they come up on 1st down. Going to begin the drive here in Madison. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. Cousins now. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. The linebacker Jordan Hicks flying in there for the sack. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Hurts throw taken in by Watkins here. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
This taken in right around the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete. 2nd and 10. Here's Cousins. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
Cox still one of the league's top defensive tackles and remains a huge presence. 7 sacks last year, adds another win to his career total there.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. Greg Ward deep for Philadelphia. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 43. Now a hit and a loose football. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Cousins on first down. Pass caught here by Osborne. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Cousins. Over the middle and hauled in by Osborne. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Here's a 2nd and 5. Cousins. That's to the left sideline and incomplete.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
Throwing, Cousins. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Vikings Vikings first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Now a 2nd and 10. Again, it's Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the 2nd quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a 2nd one.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. Hurts. Oh, he'll let that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Here's Hurts to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first. From the gun, it's Hurts. And his throw is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. He finds his man complete. That's Watkins. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. The kick by Elliott is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. Well, they got the turnover and were able to drive it down, Charles, but ultimately in the end, the defense holds up, and they only come away with the 3 points.
Yeah, they gave up a lot of ground, but when they had to, they settled in and prevented the interception from leading to 6 points. Because you never want to see turnovers turn into any type of points against you, but better to give up 3 than 6.
The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a moment. But first, the NFL season is in full swing. Let's show the good folks what we've got in store for us later this weekend here in Week 2. In the early window, we'll have our eye on that game in Jacksonville. The Jaguars going to need to be on their A game as they'll have to do battle with the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. More good stuff later in the afternoon, one being down in the desert, where it'll be the Cardinals at home in Glendale, taking on the New York Giants. And finally, on Monday night, our first doubleheader of the year, Saints Panthers at 7:15 Eastern, followed by Cleveland-Pittsburgh an hour later. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This is a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So here are the Eagles to take over. They defeated the Patriots last week, now looking to make it 2 in a row here as they come up 1st and 10. Third quarter starts with a run from Swift. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
That's be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the 3rd quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here comes Rager. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And it will be Vikings ball 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. But following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Now 3rd down and 7. From the gun, here's Cousins. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Addison hauls it in. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 36-yard line.
Play action now, Cousins. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
At this point in the 2nd half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback. So that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
Cousins again. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they were able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. So here are the Eagles to take over. They were victorious a week ago over Philadelphia. They lead here as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he'll power his way up near the 25. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
It's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Throwing is Hurts. And that is incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Cousins. Over the middle, complete. It's Osborne. So the completion good for 7 there. And that will bring up 2nd down.
A 7-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 3. At the 40-yard line.
The slot man in motion right. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
Tackle made at his 48-yard line. An 8-yard pickup. And the Vikings first down.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Cousins now. Finding Hawkinson here on the out route. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
And the Vikings first down.
To throw is Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. 3rd down, trying to get a little bit closer. From here, the field goal would be 55 yards. To throw, Cousins. They'll get this underneath to Madison. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. They'll throw again. Cousins. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And it'll be 4th down. And his kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the fourth.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this fourth quarter. He finds his tight end Goddard. That's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. And they'll employ the jumbo set now on 2nd and 1. A handoff, Swift running to the left. And down he'll go at the 25. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Hurts sets up to throw it. And this one is incomplete.
Well, as we all know, possessions are crucial in a tie game. And let's face it, I really didn't need to tell you that. You already knew it. So when he sees he's got nothing good going, an excellent decision to just send that one to the sideline.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And that is incomplete.
Well, the defense certainly did its job. They held up in that situation, and now 4th down, you've got to punt this and try to get to overtime. There's no decision to be made in my estimation.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this returnable for Rager. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Cousins to throw. That's caught by Addison. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock. But I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break a tackle and turn it into a big gain.
Cousins. Pass complete. It's Madison. What do you think? Play this safe? Just worry about getting to OT?
Yeah, don't make any risky throws. It's going to change the outcome. But if anyone slips, take the big shot.
Here's Cousins. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a fair catch call for and made just inside the 35-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. Look at the clock, a decent amount of time here in a tie game. What do?
No panic situation at all. They've got to get a couple of chunk plays, pick up nice bits of yardage.
Target the sideline?
Target the sidelines because you want to get out of bounds and make sure that clock stops. Because if the clock stays running, that makes things that much tougher for you. It can always bleed out on you.
They come up now on 2nd and 2. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. They'll come up now on 2nd down. Second down, here's Hurts, finding Watkins. Huge first down, gotta hurry.
Yeah, now they have to get up there, get set, and then spike it.
Well, this offense still has the one timeout here, remember. 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw is made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Well, this feels like a late season game, even though it's just week 2. Here's a big third down. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
Incomplete pass there is probably the best scenario going, because if he catches the football, clock's probably going to run out in that situation.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Here's Hurts to throw. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The first throw in overtime now for Cousins. This is caught by Addison. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
And there's a pretty play for Madison who seems like a perfect fit for the Vikings. Obviously, Minnesota loves receivers who produce, and Addison, one of college's best and most productive receivers the last couple of seasons.
Here's Madison running on 1st down. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. 2 minutes left in this overtime session and still all tied. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. On play action, Cousins under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Reed Blankenship just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Next score wins, but remember, this will be a tie if the period ends with no scoring as they work on 2nd down. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 26. They'll go Madison up the middle. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward, and it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
Now a timeout called for by the offense. It'll be their second and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. Cousins to throw it. And this will be caught. It's a touchdown. And absolute stunned silence here as they have come in and stolen this one in overtime. And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
Oh, the trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just